Hey minions, it's me, Satan. So I guess we better shut down the John Smith channel, because all these Christians are all like, hey John Smith, you better stop making those YouTube videos mocking God and the Bible because you don't know what you're doing. There's gonna be consequences and it's gonna be too late for you. Stupid Fundy! How do you even know your God exists? How do you know you're even worshiping the right one? Stupid atheist! There's only one true God! Yeah, stupid Fundy, I don't believe you! Prove that your God exists! Stupid atheist, prove that he doesn't exist! I don't have to prove that God doesn't exist! You made the claim that he does! I didn't make an assertion that God doesn't exist! You're the one who has the burden of proof! Stupid atheist, you just said you don't believe in God! That means you're taking a position. Burden of proof goes both ways. Stupid Fundy! Burden of proof does not go both ways. I said I don't believe in God until he's proven true. Saying that I don't believe your assertion about something is not the same thing as taking an opposing position. I never stated that I know definitely that there is no God. I said I don't believe you when you say that there is. So minions, have you guys ever found yourselves in one of those arguments where you had to explain the burden of proof over and over and over again? Doesn't it get tiresome? Try to explain how this logic works. So you keep telling your opponent to prove God to you, and they keep telling you things like, man, God doesn't work that way, or you have to open your mind and seek him yourself, and he'll reveal himself to you, or God gives you a choice whether to believe in him or not, or God can't be tested by physical, scientific, materialistic, atheistic means, or you just gotta have faith, yada yada. Then they just try to shift the burden of proof and tell you to prove that God doesn't exist. You know, like, prove Santa Claus doesn't exist, or prove Zeus doesn't exist, or prove Thor doesn't exist. Oh, but don't mention any of those guys because G-Man is the real and one and only true God. And it's just a paltry argument indeed for you to even bring up other gods, stupid atheists. So let's lighten the mood up here. Let's replace God with, I don't know, Grandma's jar of peppermint candy. So I hope God's not insulted by me talking about peppermint candy. Then maybe John Smith can keep his channel. Wait, how about cinnamon candies? Yeah, I like cinnamon candies better. Okay, stupid Fundy. So I got Grandma's jar of candy. Neither one of us knows how many candies there are in the jar. I assure you though, without even ever having counted the candies in the jar myself, that there are definitely 3,000 candies in this jar. Stupid atheist, I don't believe you. You can't possibly know that for sure. You just said you never counted the candies, so how would you know there's 3,000 candies in the jar? Okay, stupid Fundy, why don't you prove to me that there isn't 3,000 candies in the jar then? Go on. Stupid atheist, I don't know if there's 1,000 or 2,999 or 3,057 candies in the jar. I just said I don't believe you when you said there's definitely 3,000 candies in the jar. I don't have to prove that there's 3,000 candies in the jar just because you said there's 3,000 candies in the jar. Just pour the candies out of the jar and count the candies, and then we'll know. Stupid Fundy. We can't pour the candies out of the jar because there's no lid on the jar. Duh. What? That's stupid. Why would anybody seal candies in a jar that doesn't have a lid? How'd they even get the candies in the jar in the first place? Just break the jar already so we can count the candies and eat them. I like candy. Stupid Fundy, we can't break the jar. The jar's made of bulletproof and shatterproof glass. Now you're just being ridiculous. Why would anybody seal the candies in bulletproof and shatterproof glass with no lid? Doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of having candy in the jar? Candy that you can eat? Can't you just hit the jar with a sledgehammer or something or throw it off the roof? Wait, how'd you get a piece of candy out of the jar? Well, you just have to believe in the jar hard enough. If you believe hard enough, the jar will give you candy. Stupid atheist. You can't just believe candy out of a sealed jar. That's stupid. You had a piece of candy outside the jar the whole time. Now are you gonna break that jar and give me some candy or what? Sorry, Fundy. If we break the jar, once the candies are exposed to air, they'll turn to gas and float away. Then we'll never be able to count them, much less eat them. You gotta have faith in the jar, and someday the jar will just give you candy. Oh, that's really stupid, stupid atheist. The whole concept of a sealed jar of candy in bulletproof, shatterproof glass that only gives you candy if you believe in it is plain ridiculous. Oh, well, now you did it, stupid Fundy. You insulted the candy jar. Shouldn't have done that. Don't you know that insulting or mocking the candy jar carries serious consequences? You better apologize to the candy jar before it's too late. In fact, we better stop even making this video mocking the candy jar because we don't know what kind of forces we're toying with here. All the candy jar's followers will probably downvote this video and report it to the YouTube police, at the very least. For all we know, then all of those cinnamon candies will turn into those black licorice candies and we'll have to eat those forever and ever. Well, that escalated quickly. Candy's bad for you anyway. The only way to get candy out of this jar is to believe in this shot glass. He filled up with liquor for all of your sins, after all. I can get behind that. Now, stupid atheist, prove that God doesn't exist.